Hi, it's Bai here. I want to let you know what is better if you want to invest in CFX. If you, for example, you start with a package €300, if you do it alone, it will, if every day average is 1%, after 5 years, maybe 7 and 9 weeks, it will be grow to 100,000 package if you only not withdraw, but you upgrade every time. But if you work together with another 3 people, 5 people, or 9 people, you can family package. You work together and conduct with the good friend and trust people. It is how is exactly the rate, how fast it can grow, and NASCAR gave a very good review. Watch this; it is really worth it. A little bit long, but it is a really good study. Enjoy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, from wherever you are. My name is Nasko, and today I will share with you the exciting strategy called the Family Pack. This is something which inspired us to research, improve, and actually to share it today with you. So I hope you would enjoy the presentation, and it will be a presentation of about 35-40 minutes. And after that, we will open the floor for questions and answers. So having said that, let's start. First of all, let me just cover this part. Personal disclaimer, my views and opinions might not reflect those of CashFX. Trading on the global Forex market can be risky. Use only money and capital you can afford to lose. Participation in the CashFX reward plan is not a guarantee of success. You need to do the work and educate yourself so you can mentor others. This way, one can follow the structure and benefits of CashFX rewards program. The content of this particular presentation is for information purposes only. It should not be interpreted as an investment or financial advice. It does not claim that the calculations are accurate. We are using numbers that are indicative and are actually useful to explore different opportunities and alternatives. Now, having this one out of the way, here is what I would like to present as a definition of the family pack. So the idea of the family pack is not mine. I have been introduced to this idea from one of our participants here, Ruud Nielestein, and he has also heard it from other members of the Dutch team. So this is quite an old idea, which found its roots here also at CashFX, and we want to present it to you in its elaborate format. The purpose of this presentation today is to give you the background of the family pack, also to explore why actually we are talking about the family pack. So the benefits, the reasons behind how we can set this up, and of course, what are the gains out of it? Because that's the most important part. So why are we talking about the family pack? That's why I would like to start this presentation by setting the objective. And the objective of a family pack or a team pack is to speed up the generation of gains by engaging a number of CashFX accounts in a smart structure. I'll explain every one of these words step by step so you can understand what I mean here. But the biggest benefit of a family pack is that we leverage time. We already know that at CashFX we have a significant number of income streams, and the opportunities are more or less endless at CashFX. So this this idea of the family pack actually works on top of what CashFX provides. So the family pack is actually an assembly of CashFX accounts, which are acting as one team. This is a strategy to improve results, and it's not a CashFX product. So if you're looking at in your back office to find a product called family pack, you would not be able to find that. So it's a strategy, it's a concept. Now, as you can see here on the picture, the family is an assembly of a number of CashFX accounts, which are led by one person who is nominated by the family or by the group. And then the others are actually CashFX members. We will see how this fits into the perception of CashFX regarding bears and bulls, but this will come in a second. So before exploring with you the nitty-gritty of the family pack definition, let me just show you a couple of slides which we have produced by calculating how much the family pack works faster and leverages time in comparison to a single account. So let me just explain this picture to you. On the top of it, you see months in time. So you see here the 12th month or 1 year, and then you have the second year. If we take an account of 500 for a single bear, so a passive account, and we let this account grow by using only the trading results, even the matrix is not calculated here, only by using the trading results around the 8th month, this account will be doubled. And around 16 months, this account will reach 2K, etc., etc. By leveraging 5 accounts together in a family constellation, you can see the growth of all these equivalent accounts. The growth of these equivalent size accounts that is happening much faster. So you can see that already on the 2nd month, the first account is reaching 1K, so it is already upgraded, and the other accounts are upgrading much, much faster than the single bear. And going forward, you can already see the speed of growth. So again, we are leveraging time. If we look now at another family constellation of 9 members or 10 members, you can see that the growth is happening even faster. So you can observe here how the upgrades are happening here for this kind of a larger family of reaching to 1K first, 2K, etc. So if we compare a 2-year period, we can see that the growth of a single bear is outperformed significantly by a family of 5 or a family of 9, 10.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hi. In this slide, you're assuming that all the members are in the leader level 1 under his level 1 or 1, 9, or instead of that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra level?
Yeah, a very good question. I actually didn't want to mention here the different levels and the structures. So for the moment, let's assume that they're just a very flat structure, like one person on top, and then you have other people below. But we will see this just in the next slide. So this is now more or less explaining the final result of several accounts being together in a family pack. And how we structure them will be explained in a couple of minutes. Okay, so this is, let's say, the projection after a calculation for 2 years. The next slide is in 4 years. So the same single bear, you see how slowly it progresses. This is the normal way of progressing as a bear. The 5 family members here are progressing much faster, as you can see here. And the 9 family members, even before somewhere in the middle of between the 3rd and the 4th year, one of the 5 of the 9 family members here for the larger family is already on 100K. Now, how this growth is possible and how this growth is accumulated, we'll see in the next slides. But that was the whole purpose of having a family pack. In comparison to a single bear, you can see 5 team members playing together or 9 and more family members playing together. Now, in the next slides, I will explain what makes this possible and how we can create, how to say, smart structures, so we can benefit from the CashFX reward scheme as much as possible. That's why the definition of the family pack is to speed up the generation of gains by engaging a number of CFX accounts using smart structures. Okay. A family pack consists of one family lead, which is in a position of a bull, And this family lead is also a sponsor of all the other family members. So this family lead will be giving his sponsor link to a number of family members. The family members could be any number between 2 and infinity, but soon you will realize that actually a good number is between 3 and 10, because the more you have, the more maintenance you need to deal with. The Boo member is represented in green, the same way as it is in our back office. And I'm going to be using this symbolic figure here to represent that this is the person who is actually moderating and is at the head of the family. Then we have n numbers of passive members or bears, which we'll call them members or family members. The association between them is a pure sponsor-member relationship, right? So the Boo will share the affiliate link or the referral link to the members, and by doing this, he or she will create a family. Now, one interesting point here about the family is that they will share one digital wallet, so that they can accumulate all the gains together in one place and then profit from this. Let's see how this would happen. If we start from the very basic fundamentals regarding the personal account, how do we create personal accounts at CashFX? We first have a registration at CashFX, so we create an account. We also create, with the help of a mentor or an uplink wallet, we fund the wallet, we purchase the pack, and then we connect the CashFX to the wallet back so that we can send the gains back to the wallet. So this is a very simplified way of showing how a personal account would look like. Now, in terms of maintenance, and by the way, this setup is valid also for bulls and bears. By the time you create this constellation, you're already a bear. And once you share at least with one person your affiliate link and this person becomes a member, then you become a bull. But this setup remains the same. So one CashFX account, one wallet, normal structure. The maintenance around this setup is that the wallet will be normally associated with an email, your email, and also we need to secure this wallet with a two-factor authentication. So we need to download an app and then use the code given by the wallet and then create one record, one account for the wallet. For the CashFX account, we need to do absolutely the same. So we need to manage this account by creating a two-factor authentication account for the CashFX record, and also we associate our CashFX account with an email. So this is the total maintenance around these two applications. I think I'm not telling you anything new here. Now, with the next slide, here is the foundation of a family and how it is organized in terms of levels. So as we said, the family members, they would be different accounts, in this case 3, and they will share one and the same wallet so that all the gains from the 3 levels or the members within the family will be stored and deposited in the wallet and then will be used on a circular basis to upgrade and benefit. Now, this particular picture here shows that the 3 accounts are in a vertical relationship. So we have a family lead, which is on level 0. This is this account. Then we have a second account, which is on family level 1 in comparison to the original family lead account. And then we have a third one here. The relation between them is very much flat. So it is like a vertical relationship here. That's why from a family perspective, this is level 2, level 1, level 0. The family lead is a bull, and the rest of the members can be absolutely passive. Actually, strictly speaking, the second member is also a bull because he or she has already shared his affiliate link in this relationship here. But for the simplicity of this picture, we can assume that the family lead is a more active member, the person who is actually managing the whole structure. And all of these family members, they are passive. So they don't need to build teams in general. So most of the presentation further on will be around a family structure which has one active member and all of the others are more or less passive. Now, this was the foundation for the family pack. How about maintenance? Now, as we said already on the slide for the personal pack, you see that the wallet needs to have a two-factor authentication account and email. Then every one of the CashFX accounts also needs to have a record for the security of two-factor and also email associated. So in a family structure, one thing that is evident immediately from this picture is that the person who wants to create a family needs to also embrace the fact that there will be quite some maintenance. And this maintenance is related to creating a wallet, which is associated with all these accounts, provide a dedicated maybe email that this wallet is associated with, also dedicated emails for every one of these accounts, and then hand them over, and also create two-factor authentication records for every one of these accounts to protect them. The family lead, who is also the most active member, should be able to enter every one of these accounts in order to withdraw and also to monitor the progress of those accounts. So that's why this family lead, if this is the one who actually is the person maintaining the whole structure, needs to have access to all of these applications, so the two-factor authentication records for all of these accounts, and to the emails. So please try to reflect a little bit on what I just said. Therefore, yeah? Is there a question? I can't see you guys because I just closed the
no, Nasco, it's just somebody entering the room late.
Okay, great. I hope you can hear me well. Yeah. So yes, with this picture, I want to show you that the structure is really powerful, but there is one drawback, and the drawback is maintenance. The family lead might be a single person, a single individual from the family, but it could be also a pair. It could be a couple that are managing this kind of structure. I can tell you then that within my team, we are experimenting with the family structure of 9 people, and we are 2 actually moderators who are maintaining this structure. So the 2 of us have access to the accounts, and we are moderating and monitoring all the accounts. Okay. Any questions so far? Because these, with this slide, we're covering the basics and the groundwork. Okay, let's go on then. One important rule in the family: trust. I don't think I need to convince you in this, but still I wanted to dedicate at least one slide in that. When people enter a kind of an endeavor like this, they are actually committing to a long-term relationship, because everything that we do around CashFX is longer term, right? It's more than 6 months, it's more than a year, it's mostly about 2, 3, 4 years when we see the real results of our capital gains. So by having people getting together and wanting to use this strategy as a family, they also need to consider that this is actually an environment of high level of trust. It should be a safe environment. They should act as family. There should be an integrity. Everybody should trust everyone. They should respect each other. They should be grateful for what the family lead is doing for everyone. There should be a positivity. Some people may be good in calculating the results. Some other people might be good at entering and managing the accounts. Other people would be good at, for example, risk planning when the gains are stored in the wallet. So the personal involvement is really a key here. And of course, everyone should encourage the others to continue. So by entering into an endeavor like the family, it is not a one-man show, it's a team game. That's why the name of this strategy is like family lead, because a family pack, because actually the whole constellation works as a family with high level of trust. If there is no trust, soon you would realize that this structure will not be sustainable in the long run. There will be questions from members like, okay, when can I withdraw my money? When can I see my account upgraded? Of course, there should be some rules, and I will lay out some rules that we have found out, and we started exploring them and started kind of learning from them. But these rules, they should be established before you create the whole setup of the family, right? And I know that maybe this slide looks like a bit of a fluffy and fluffy story, but please believe me that without this level of integrity within the family, this family will not be able to progress faster. Okay, let's dive a little bit into the way how a family is set up. So I will start with a very, very simple structure, which is a one-level structure. So as we said, we have a family lead, and this family lead is at the family level 0. After that, we have a number of family members who are bears, and they will represent the family level 1. All of these accounts are connected to one wallet, as we said. And every time when we have gains, weekly gains, trading gains, bonuses, all of these will be deposited to the one and only wallet that we have. The relationship between these two is, as we said, this is the sponsor of all the other accounts. Now, you can see now the real benefit from the family structure. Every upgrade from this level actually brings a fast start to this member, including one uni level. So in total, it's about 16.5% of the upgrade value, right? Now, the big difference between individual accounts and this constellation is that all the profits, including the trading, are going into one wallet. So by accumulating all the profits, all the trading gains, and the bonuses in one wallet is making it much easier to distribute this wealth equally among the other members, and therefore they can grow faster. And I can show you this via a calculation matrix. So we have, every time when these people are upgrading, then the whole contribution, as I call it here, is coming back to the wallet. Of course, part of the contribution is also the weekly gains, the weekly trading gains. So all of these accounts are producing trading gains every day. And then once those accounts are upgradable, then they also contribute with this amount. So this amount is not lost for these accounts. It is actually used back to the wallet so that they can be upgraded faster. Here you see examples of a 500 pack and 1K pack. So this is the monetary equivalent of the same percentages. For us, what is important is to understand that those percentages here are really growing when you explore further structures. So before moving on, are there any questions regarding this one? Because this is the basic understanding of the family structures. Okay, I hope so far it is clear. Now, moving to the next slide. So the structure becomes a little bit more complex. We are adding another level here. So in order for you to be able to kind of read this slide better, I used colors. So all the contribution from this level is in orange. The contribution from the blue level is here. Of that level is here. So this is a structure with two levels. So we have the family level 0, family level 1, family level 2. Now you can see that one of the members actually is in the middle of this structure. So the structure is made in such a way that it will benefit even more. And I'll explain this in a second. So in this case, this participant is a sort of a bull. I mean, on paper, this is a bull member because this member will also share his or her link to the members. But actually, this person could be extremely passive. At the moment this structure is set up, this person doesn't need to be any more active. So we're not building here a team, we are building a structure so that we can benefit in time. Now, here is what happens here with this particular constellation. So every time when a member of the second level upgrades, we have a fast start here, and a uni level of level 1 here, so 16.5%. But this uni level also is propagated to the family lead here. So we have another 1.5% to the family lead. Right, so now we are now benefiting from the multiple uni levels here. So now you can see where I'm going to with this picture. When the family level 1 upgrades, it also contributes with a 15% and 1.5 uni level. So this is this kind of contribution. All of these contributions for a single upgrade from this level or from that level contribute to the wallet. Of course, you can see that the family lead, when the family lead upgrades, this upgrade or the fast start of that upgrade goes to the uplink above. So the upgrade amount, the fast start of this upgrade actually is not contributing to the family. That's why it is not mentioned here at all. What really is important to understand is that we need to start upgrading from the bottom so that the whole structure benefits from the fast starts and the uni levels. Okay, so this was a picture which it looks like a kind of an inverted T structure. So it is vertical and horizontal of 2 levels. And last but not least, level 3 depth. And I will stop with this one. I will not go to level 4. Here again, the power of having more levels, and again, we need to be reasonable with the levels, is that the power of having more levels is that they contribute an additional 1.5% for the uni levels in between. So let's again repeat that every time when one of these accounts is upgraded. So this is a family 3, level 3, and this is this explanation here. We have a contribution of a fast start 15% to this member. Then we have a uni level here, a uni level here, and 1 uni level over there. So instead of having only 15 plus 16.5% contribution, we're having 19.5% contribution for every single upgrade here. So again, every single upgrade here contributes to the fast start on that level, plus the uni level on that level. So this is more in details. All of these contributions are going to the wallet. If level 2 upgrades, then we have a fast start here, plus uni level 1 here, plus uni level 1 here, uni level 2 here. And once this one upgrades, then we have a fast start here and a uni level of level 1 here. So quite a lot of uni levels. When we did the calculation, when we did this projection in time that you saw in the second slide about how fast those accounts grow together, is we took into account the fast start bonuses and also the uni levels. So trading pool gains, fast starts, and uni level bonuses were all used in this contribution so that we can calculate the speed of growth for this family structure and then project it in time the way you saw it. So this matrix that you saw on slide 3 was actually the final result of this calculation. And of course, it depends how many family members you have. Here you see that you have 8 family members just positioned in a structure like this. Currently, my team is experimenting with exactly this kind of structure. So it is a structure of 3 levels. We have 6 people here and 3 people like that. And we have the calculations, and the calculations are always sort of on paper. We are actually using the calculation as a guideline because you can never be absolutely sure how much percentages you would get per week or per month. So we're using the average percentage of 5 per week to do all these calculations and to actually monitor them. And we track our progress. So are there any questions so far about this? This is the most complex slide. More complex than this will not go.
Yes, please, I would have a question.
Yeah, Alice.
Thank you very much for your presentation. You went very much in depth. That's super interesting.
I'm not finished yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so about this specific slide then, how so it is more interesting to have 3 level and then 5 bears at the very bottom rather than having 8 uni levels, you know, like people under each and every member?
Okay. Actually, I would like maybe someone else to answer this question. There is a reason, and this is a very good question, but Is there anyone on the call that can answer this question? Why not having more than, let's say, more than 3, 4, 5 levels? Yeah, ideally you would be having like all of these lined up vertically, right? What we see in that is, okay, I'll just maybe explain briefly. You know that if you're not on a leadership level, so if the account is not on a leadership level, then you're not benefiting from all the levels which are beyond level 4. So if the family lead is not on a leadership level, then this family account can only benefit from level 1, 2, 3, and 4 maximum. Every level which is 5 and 6, they cannot contribute any uni level to the family lead on level 0. Right? So if and only if this family lead is already on any of the leadership levels and he or she can benefit from the level 6, 7, and onwards, then of course you can construct it this way. But this is a little bit of more secure for, let's say, for starters. So this structure ensures that all the uni levels are utilized and used. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Very much so. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So there was a reason we also used it in our experiment with only 3 levels, because this family lead here is just a newly born, let's say, account. So we would not be able to benefit from the levels below.
And also in terms of gains, you didn't consider the forced matrix gains.
Right. Force matrix is not part of the calculation, so it's on top of these 19%. And because the force matrix is something that we cannot really even calculate in time, because it very much depends where in the whole community this family organization would be. That's why it is very hard to predict how much the matrix and the force matrix will deliver and produce. What we do know is those percentages, the fast starts, the uni levels. And again, I'm using here percentages because it very much depends on the packages that those accounts are using. Right? You will see that there are certain guidelines that we adopted for creating the accounts. But if those accounts are, let's say, 10K each, they will grow and produce much better results than accounts that start with 300. Still, the percentages will remain. So I think this slide will still hold true till the end of the presentation without involving package value.
Thank you, Nasco.
Sure. Yeah. If you see any mistakes here in the calculations, please let me know. I run through them at least hundreds of times, but you never know. Okay.
Nasco, can I add something more?
Yes, absolutely.
Another advantage of this system is that you can actually have your forced matrix used by people you know. That, like, it's not by random people, but people that's inside your family. So the forced matrix can be with random people, but if you have it like this way with the same system you did, so then you can have people under you on your forced matrix as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was kind of struggling with the force matrix because, again, it is kind of difficult to calculate. But definitely, if you plug this directly under your account, and we will talk about how you position this with your members and with your teams. But if you plug this directly under your account, all of these members are actually directly under you, so they can benefit. And of course, you can even use the force matrix results also for the wallet, or you can decide that the force matrix results are just for the individuals and they can withdraw them separately.
I think Nasco and Tal, great observation, but you're absolutely right, Nasco. When you're first setting up your structure, you do not know where you're going to sit in the matrix. That is out of our control. But once you ascertain whether or not you have members in your matrix, then you can add those commissions to the overall structure. So to me, it's a headwind that you're not aware of initially. Yeah. And likewise, I think to Tala's point, you could be positioned in the matrix underneath another family, or another family sits underneath you, and you could benefit from those commissions. But once again, you'll not be able to ascertain that until you understand where everybody sits within the matrix. Hopefully that's clear.
Yeah. Actually, it can happen that the moment you structure it somehow, some of those members will be really under you, but some of the others might go really kind of sidewards, still under you, but they might not benefit from each other. Okay, any more questions to the structure related to the different levels of depth, and also how we play these scenarios so that we can squeeze the biggest benefit from the uni levels and the fast starts. So I think as a conclusion, we can say that the biggest benefit of the family setup is that you are using all of these, let's say, bonuses for upgrading faster the accounts below. Sorry, the accounts of the constellation. So we are not only using the trading gains, but we're using also the fast starts and the uni level bonuses in between. And all of this together brings an accumulative total, which will be distributed amongst these packs here. Okay, let's see the next one. I would like to share with you a little bit of details of how exactly we made the calculations and what really happens. So I know that this is a busy slide, but I will just take a couple of minutes to share with you how am I kind of presenting you these numbers and how I plotted those results in the timeline on slide number 2 or 3. So let's take here an example of 5 family members. And every one of them starts with 1K. Easy to calculate. We already know that the contribution from the trading pool is, we're using 700 for every one of these accounts. The daily gains are about $7 or 1%. Then this is about 5%. And this is also about 20%. So this is, this average number about the percentage per day is the only parameter that is variable. So I'm assuming, let's say, a very conservative number of 1% per day to do all the calculations. This calculation has originally been shared to me by Ruth, and I just extended it slightly to involve also the uni levels. So what else we can see on this table here? So this is per month. This is month number 1. These are the levels of the participants. So this is the family lead. Level 1, then we have a couple of participants on level 2, and then we have a participant on level 3. This is just an example, right? Normally you can have here 0, 1, and then 1, 1, 1, 1. Everybody's on level 1. So the very simple structure. So the purple part is the bear side. So bear is purple, as we know, or pinky. So these are the contributions from the trading per month. So I'm going to be taking this column here for the total amount of contribution per month. The green part is the contribution via bonuses, or the bull side of the picture. So at the very first time when we set up the family, this person gives the affiliate link to all of these 4 members. By doing that, we are gaining fast starts, and the fast start is 15%. Which is in this case $150. So this is the monetary equivalent. The uni level for every one of these actions is, as we know, 15, 15, 15. And then we have also uni levels distributed on the other levels here. So number 3 contributes to number 2, and contributes to number 1, and contributes to number 0. So the contribution from this member here is 1 fast start, 1 uni level 1, level 2, level 3. Total contribution from this member, including the trading pool, is 335. This is the way we read this table. So the total contribution of all the members by the end of the month is 1,400 and something. We have a withdrawal fee, which we need to calculate. So the amount that could be potentially offloaded to the wallet and can be used for upgrades is this amount here, 1,100 plus. Now, 1,100 plus is more or less sufficient to do an upgrade of one account. So one account of 1,000, this amount is more or less sufficient to do an upgrade. Why am I saying more or less? Because we always have these network fees that are coming from the wallet. So let's say, for the sake of calculation, this amount here is sufficient to upgrade one account. So month number 2 starts with the lowest level upgrade, account upgrade. So at this point, account number 5, which is the lowest level, is upgraded to 2K. Now 2K, as we know, contributes double. So the month contribution by this member is this one. And by the time we upgrade it, we have also a fast start contribution to the family and a number of uni levels. So total contribution of the family for the second month is this one. We have some leftovers from the previous month here in the wallet. Then we have this amount here. We withdraw 20% withdrawal fee. Then what is left in the wallet is this amount plus the leftover, so that amount. So unfortunately, this amount is not sufficient to upgrade the sorry, the amount here is not sufficient to upgrade for the next one, unless I think I've made a mistake here. Anyway, so we have done this calculation for 48 months. And based on this calculation, we were able to project how the growth of these upgrades is happening for family members who are starting with amounts of 500 and 1,000. So by doing this matrix for 48 months, I was able to create these kind of timelines. Okay, so this was the end result of the calculation in this big Excel spreadsheet, which I showed you only a glimpse of it. Yeah. Going further. So, are there any questions of how these calculations are done, and what gives me confidence in saying that the family grows much faster than a single individual? Actually, in certain occasions, 5 members in a family grow 30% faster than a single bear. Now, take a moment to reflect on that. So again, we are actually using CashFX on steroids by just applying a smart structure on top. There is a small, I think, miscalculation here on this screenshot, but on the real Excel file, you will see that. I will share with you this Excel file as well. So through Lisa, we'll upload all of this in Trello. Any questions about these calculations here? So potentially, once you establish your own families, you would be able to adjust those parameters here and work with them. The variables would be, of course, the initial amounts, the different level setup, because the different level setups will project here what is the contribution in terms of bull side. As you can see, for example, this participant here does not contribute with uni level 3. That's why there is nothing here. So it is very important how you position your family members here. And again, don't go beyond 4, because then it becomes difficult to manage, but also you will not be able to receive the uni levels. Any questions on this?
So hey, me again. In that instance, wouldn't it be better to have a family with a level 0, 1, 2, and then 2 3s, like 1, 2, 3, 3?
Yes, yes, absolutely. This is just an example here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you reduce more of these gray areas here. I just use this constellation just to show you that it could be like 1 sorry, 0, 1, then 2 people on level 2, and then 1 on level 3, just for the sake of it. So it doesn't need to be really a T-shape. It could be kind of split. As long as it delivers to you what your goal is. So again, the biggest part of the contribution is here, what is happening in the bull side. Otherwise, until the purple part, there is no difference between 5 individual accounts. So this is the additional contribution here. And then it grows in months. I hope I can share with you, for example, I'm sorry here. Yeah, so here is for 1 year, the calculation that we have done. So you can see how the accounts grow. Every time when an account is upgraded, we actually change here the contribution. Then we mark it like this. You see that those accounts are already upgraded here. So they all actually produce double of the results. And further on, once the top account is upgraded, which is the last account to be upgraded because it does not contribute anything, then we start again from the bottom. And from the bottom would be, you know, the lowest possible because it contributes the maximum, etc. Okay.
Yeah, I think everything is okay here, Nasco. If you just change the 500 there on that slide now to 0, because then it's gonna go over to the next month, and then you can upgrade 2 times in month 7 or 8.
Yeah,
So,
I think I just got
yes.
carried away with this one here. I just
Yes.
I don't know why I made this, but anyway.
Just put 0 there, and then it's okay.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for that. Yeah, and we made kind of explicit how many accounts you can upgrade. For the larger accounts, you can see that even per month, you can upgrade 2 accounts per month. And this is just indicative, right? This is just indicative for the person who is managing their family when approximately they should consider the upgrades. And of course, the idea is to upgrade as quick as possible. That's why this final result here is important to monitor and to track it. Okay, next one. Again, one of the lessons learned when we when we decided to have a family pack. Of course, when you deal with family members, real family members from your own physical family, then there is a big level of trust, as we discussed. There is an integrity. There is kind of understandable that someone is more technically savvy and he would be the one to moderate. But when you want to create a family pack of friends, then you need to establish certain rules. And we had a number of questions that we asked ourselves together. We sat on a call and we asked ourselves, okay, how do we go about those questions? And we started with this inception before we set up the family structure. So a very reasonable question is, who is the family lead? And the family lead is the one that sits on top, of course. But this also would be the person who is having most knowledge and access to all the accounts so that he can moderate them. As I said, the bigger the family pack, the more maintenance is required. That's why we might have a buddy or a pair that is on the family top. So it's again one account, but maybe the second one, both of these first and second level, they're taking care of the family. So in this case, we just put names. What is the initial capital of the family? It is fair to have the same amounts for the family members so that everybody starts fairly, right? At the end, we would like to split the spoils, and then everybody should receive as much as possible fair share of the gain. Now we actually, we sat together and we voted and everybody said, okay, let's start with a small one. How many family members? Now again, this comes back to the maintenance. The more the merrier, but on the other hand, the more family members you have, the more of these setups you need to do. You need to create the accounts for every one of these members. So you need to help them, you need to associate an email address, you need to create two-factor authentication, you need to have access to them, etc. What we learned is that, yeah, minimum 3, minimum 5 is a good number. but this is also a sweet number. More than 10 would be really difficult to manage, our experience. Duration of the family project. Now, as a constellation, as a family pack, I showed you that we projected in 4 years' time what will happen. So these calculations helped us to see, okay, if we hold on to our capital, initial capital, and we don't touch it, we always reinvest it, then about the end of the 4th year, every one of us will be on 100K, right? That's a goal. So we made the calculation in order to answer the question, what is the duration of the family project? And of course, this relates to the appetite of the people within the family. Yeah, we had a question, do we want to review the duration midterm? And that is to do with the fact that we are not really family members. We are just friends, and we wanted to engage together in this. So the goal was to discuss really what is the exit criteria for us. When can we finish, and what would be the outcome of exiting this? There was a question also about rotating the family lead, because the family lead is the one that is managing everything, so it might be fair that we rotate per quarter, per year. Can we accept new family members? Now, this is a very personal question. We decided to keep it simple, so everybody enters with the same amount at the same time, so all the accounts grow as equally as possible. Of course, we said, okay, we can actually accept a new family member. So if everybody is about to be 2K, then if there is a family member, then the family member should meet the same current level. Again, why? Because then all of the accounts would be growing equally with the same speed, and they will contribute with the same amount. I'm going to skip this question. It was not really relevant, but this is really a question from our trenches of the team. What is our risk strategy in regards to Bitcoin in the wallet? Because every time you withdraw, there might be delays. There might be a certain amount of time that you need to accumulate the gains before you're ready to upgrade. So our decision was to keep it as short as possible in the wallet. But actually, a very opposite strategy could be that there is a person who is monitoring the fluctuation of Bitcoin and adjusts the wallet value in such a way that, for example, converts it to, let's say, to fiat currency like US dollar or euro. Right? But this is, let's say, extra effort here. What is the exit strategy? Again, related to the previous question, like, do we want to review our relationship? Yeah, we said, okay, let's see, once we reach 30K of every account, then we decide what to do. Maybe we split, and everybody takes care of their own account. And by taking care means that everybody will, so all of these maintenance work will be handed over to the people, like the two-factor authentication, the email address access, etc. The wallet selection was important. Well, you've heard recently that Binance had some restrictions for UK citizens and Canadian citizens. So by at the time when we created the family pack, at that time Binance was one of the strongest, and we chose Binance at that time, but there were other candidates. So I'm not going to advise here which wallet. Lisa has created a wonderful paper on this in our Trello board. It is again a question which wallet. There might be people who are more comfortable with one or another. And of course, how we track our progress, because if you don't track and don't measure, you don't improve. So for us, we took the document that Lisa shared with me one day, and this was a document called, I think, Business Plan, and it is for single individual. And then we took this one and we expanded it for all the family members. So now every week we track for every family member the progress. And then at the end, we project it into a diagram, and then we speak to each other. Okay, even though those questions, they look like, maybe, again, unnecessary, you will find out that they're actually really important to be asked and answered before you create the family structure itself. Okay, next one. When we established the family and when we agreed on all the questions, here is for you a setup checklist. So step by step. First of all, create and set up dedicated email accounts for every one of the CashFX accounts. Why dedicated account? Because the family lead should be able to access it. If it's not a dedicated account and it's a personal, let's say if it is the personal account of someone, and then he or she decides to join the family, then somehow there should be a communication between the family lead and this member to share what is happening through the email. Because the email also registers notifications, reports on gains on a weekly basis and bi-weekly basis. So it would be good to have a dedicated email account for the family. Again, this is only to make the access and the maintenance of this family lead much easier. Also, sometimes when you log in into the CashFX account, it requires a confirmation of the device. And this confirmation also goes to the dedicated email. So imagine that this is a personal email of one of the members. You always need to call them and ask them. So for our family, we decided to have dedicated Gmail accounts for all of the members and the lead. One important progress for us was that all of the email addresses, we forwarded them to one email address so that all of these communications are forwarded to one email of those. And that was also easy from a maintenance point of view. With those with those email accounts, you create the CFX accounts. And here you have to be very careful. Depending on your structure, the creation of the accounts needs to happen with the corresponding affiliate link. Of course, the first one is the family lead account. So it hangs under someone. This is not interesting for us. But the next one on the line, family member number two, who is on level 1 under the family lead, they should use for registration only the link of the lead. If you want to have a flat structure, the same link should be used by all the other members, and then you have the normal level 1 structure, which is very simple. If you decide to have a more complex vertical structure with several levels in between, then you need to carefully create the CFX account in such a way that they are using each other's links. So let's say these are on level 2, these are on level 1. So this one needs to share the link to these 2 people. And these 2 people should share the links correspondingly to these 2. So this is the way we create the CashFX accounts. So sharing the links is important, and also the associated email accounts. On the other side of the scale, we need to set up the wallet. So this is the one wallet that we are using. This wallet also needs to have an email, also needs to have 2-factor authentication. So we are doing this by using these 2 steps here. So the wallet needs to be secured with a 2-factor authentication. In our case, it is the family lead that holds this record in his phone, and we are using it from there. The 2-factor authentication of the CFX account is absolutely the same setup. So all of these family member accounts, they need to be secured. So again, the same. The family lead would enter those accounts, will capture the 2-factor authentication codes, and will set them. So in a way, the family members actually don't have really access to their accounts, but that's the whole point of the family, that one is leading all of them. And on a, let's say, weekly or bi-weekly basis, we keep track of our progress and we communicate. Now, part of the checklist also is to finally purchase the CashFX packs. So once the wallet and the CashFX accounts are secured, we move into purchasing. So everybody puts some money into the wallet as an initial capital, and we purchase all the individual accounts. To finish the whole process of setting up, all of the CashFX accounts need to point to the family wallet, because then we can withdraw all of the amounts to the same wallet. So it is the same wallet address. Now, keep track of all credentials in a safe place. As you can see here, this is just an example of how we keep track of all the credentials and all of this setup. So here is family member. This is the member row. the email dedicated for CashFX, the email password, which could be randomly generated, but it should be known by the person who manages those accounts. The CashFX account name, this is the account name that is associated with this email address, the password of this account, CashFX two-factor authentication code, so this is the code for that account, the level, and other information like when it is created, what is the amount, etc. At the bottom, we also put our selection of the wallet and also the address of the wallet and the two-factor authentication code of the wallet. Now, this is very sensitive, as you can imagine, so you need to keep it in a safe place somehow. Any questions here on this setup checklist? Maybe it's a long list, but believe me, it is. It has been researched and squeezed to the minimum from everything that we have experimented with. Okay, I suppose there are no questions here. Okay, so a couple of more slides and then I'm done. Ongoing practices. Upgrade from the bottom first. Upgrade the family lead last. Log into each account regularly to withdraw and then accumulate in the wallet. Track your progress, communicate with each other, experience, speak to each other, retrospect on your progress and improve when possible. So I think some of you have already seen this kind of Excel spreadsheet from Lisa. I received mine, which is a representation of how you can track your progress per week. And in this progress, you can register here all your gains, the trading gains, the fast start gains, etc. So what I did actually further on is just to expand this for a family. So I created just copies of this structure here for all the family members here, and then we register all of the gains per week. This file is accessible through a shared drive, so everybody can see the results at their leisure. This is our way of communication. You could actually publish this in a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group. It is up to you how you communicate, but communication is important. It's part of how you establish level of trust. Important slide. When we talk about family packs, we are talking about real CashFX accounts, right? So those accounts, they should not be fake. There should be real physical people behind them. Those physical people should be associated with a single account. This is an excerpt from the terms and conditions of CashFX, where you can see that there are certain limitations about how we create an account. One physical person should have one personal account, and there are some exceptions here, but let's say that's the basic rule. KYC will be adopted very soon or at some point, and then accounts will be checked. But what I really would like to draw your attention to is the other people who are related to you one way or another, friends, family members. I have a family on my own, and I am engaged there. I have created an account for my mom, for my brother. I help them to create this account, so they're registered through them. And my mom will not be able to manage her account, neither my brother. So I am the one managing them, but these are real physical people behind the accounts. Right, so this is really, maybe even as part of the disclaimer, that all of this makes sense and it will be really sublimely realistic to be implemented by just following the rules.
Excellent, Asko. I just want to add one more point to that slide, and I have a couple of other additions if I may as well. But the other thing I would put on there is that you have to be over 18. Okay, so that's part of the terms and conditions as well. So no dogs, no cats, real human beings over the age of 18. You will be surprised. And whilst we haven't introduced KYC yet, we know it's coming. If you're not familiar with that policy, know your customer, it is something that's adopted across the financial landscape. And in essence, each individual who owns a CFX pack will have to produce a identity document, typically a passport or a driving license, or a country ID card. And I don't know if we're going to go this far, but also proof of address, usually in the form of a utility bill, or something that is, tied back to your address. Now, my understanding, and it is all vague, nothing has been communicated formally at the moment on KYC. It will be introduced on a step-by-step basis, and it will be for new members initially. So it will give, if you like, existing members an opportunity to try and do the necessary, because I think there are some, if you like, strange behaviors going on out there. So it will give people the time to do whatever is necessary, but it will be introduced to new members only. So NASCO, I think it would be good for that checklist to include, obviously, the KYC criteria once we all know what they are. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, one more slide, and then I leave you guys for your duties. Okay, so what? I mean, we have spoken about an hour and 10 minutes on the family pack, and thank you very much for your patience with me. But actually, how can we use the family pack as a positioning? How to use the family pack strategy to position CashFX actually? I was thinking about this, and I might not have an exhaustive list here, but I found myself that I would like to help people around me, right? Especially family members. Those family members, they're either not digital, they are not savvy with computers, they don't have any idea about the digital wallets, etc. So one way to help them is to tell them, okay, guys, we can create a family. I can share this gift and this blessing with you. Yeah, I just need to have an agreement with you that you would like to join me. So yes, we have physical people, my brother, my wife, my mom. Now these are physical people, and I actually inspire them to join me in this endeavor. This is also the way you can inspire new members, actually, or prospects even. So you can tell them, okay, you can create an account for yourself, but you can also create an account and support the people around you. So this also gives people purpose, if you ask me, because then they see the immediate potential that they can inspire and help others immediately. On the technical side, for me, the family pack is also sort of a upsell, as I call it here, up positioning. So I didn't want to use the word upsell because it sounds kind of ugly, but it is kind of an up positioning, because once you have a prospect, you can also open up the possibility during the discussion with this prospect, or when they join as members, that they can actually involve more members of their surrounding, or people of their surrounding, and therefore helping them. So this is also how we can use the family pack as a sort of expanding the possibility of quickly gaining results by being in a sort of a constellation like family. Thank you very much for listening. And I hope with this presentation I have inspired you, and I kind of created the spark that can enlighten your journey further on in CashFX, and we can see amazing results as individuals and also as teams. Thank you, guys.